who is going to be first, second and third in the first few rounds of the 2025 MotoGP season. No one actually knows, but me and Matt are going to try and decide who we think are going to be up there.
Has the testing given you any indication of any predictions for the first 3 rounds, starting with TIGP?
Yeah, I think in terms of somewhat, Bez, I think, is going to be a podium. I think there's a podium for Bez. Hesitant to say whether it's a podium for the sprint and the main race, but a podium. Yamaha, I don't think are going to be there just because the traction issues. I think that they're still going to have them. Testing always seems to, make them look a little bit better than where they are because of the traction issues, like you said. I mean, Mark's going to be there, isn't he? Mark will win. I can't see it. I can't see where he won't win. Personally.
Really? Straight?
Yep. Yeah,
2 wins. He's the most successful rider in Thailand, so it's a safe bet.
Well, there you go. I don't know. I just, maybe not one win, but maybe just the one win. I think if he's going to win one based on the main race pace that he was doing in testing, I think he'll win the main. So it'll be Marquez to win at least the main. I'm sure. No, okay, we need to probably break it down, don't we? Because of the sprint.
Let's go sprint first.
Sprint
Give
first.
Me a top
right.
3. And
Sprint
then,
first. Oh god, this is going to be really. It's going to be really, really.
The sprints in the past, you could just say Jorge Martin. It was a safe bet, but
you
he's
could.
Heavily injured,
and he's heavily injured.
Now it's difficult.
He's not ridden that Aprilia, and I don't. I'm going to say. Wow, Why am I going to say? Do you know what? I'm going to say Bez will win.
Nice.
I'm going to say Bez will win the sprint. Then
yes.
I'll say, this is actually okay. This will be interesting.
So what's your thought process then? Let's hear it.
So
what
because I'm thinking of what normally happens in those first few rounds. I think Bez Costa. I reckon he's got something there. I reckon he's got P2. And I'm probably going to say Bagnaia. I'm going to go with Bagnaia.
Nice.
And then Mark will be 4th or whatever. But
I think there'll be a surprise. I think there'll be a surprise. I think it'll be Alex Marquez to win the sprint. I'm pretty confident on him right now. If he rides the momentum like I think he is, then I'm going to say Alex Marquez for the sprint victory. For the second place, brilliant mention to Pedro Costa, because I think there's something about Pedro Costa this season.
Yeah.
I know everyone's saying that he can't beat the Ducatis, which it's true, he can't beat the Ducatis over 22 rounds. But could he get a couple of victories here and there? I think he can. So I think I'd have to put him somewhere up there. But Marquez is excellent. Marc Marquez is excellent in Thailand. He is 2 wins out of the 3, 4, 5 races we've had there. It's hard to not put him on the podium, but I've got to say Pecco Bagnaia will be in there as well. I think Pecco's got this this season now where he's got to show he's number 1. Marquez has joined him, he's number 2, and that's going to be incredibly difficult to do. But the only way to do that is by beating Marc Marquez. So I'm going to put Pecco in 3rd, but it's to not put Marquez in the sprint it seems somewhat diabolical, because I think if he gets pole or starts anywhere near the front row, he'll dash to the front, because his sprint race pace that he did was metronomical and extremely fast.
Scary. That's what it was. It was scary.
It was testing. It was different situations. Is he ready?
No,
is he toying with us? Oh, now I think about it. I'll have to put Marquez 3rd then. I'm going Alex Marquez the surprise. Marc Marquez 2nd and Pecco Bagnaia 3rd. That's my sprint.
Okay.
I've decided. Whether I'll make peace with that, I don't know.
The thought I had with the sprint is it's the first round. I don't think Mark's going to care if he's 4th. I don't think he's going to care. If he's 5th, he'll probably be like, no, I need to be further up, especially if Bagnaia's there. If Bagnaia's 3rd, I think he'll stick in 4th. I don't think he's going to matter. I don't think it's going to worry him because he's got 22 rounds to go, right?
It's a massive championship, yeah. There's a lot of work to do.
The long game, and Mark has moved away slightly from the win or bin mentality, I think.
He has,
which is good. Last year, obviously, there was an element of that because it was just throw himself into a year-old. But I mean, again, So that was my reasoning behind not putting Mark in the podium. The main race though, Mark will win. Done. That's it. Mark is going to win the main.
So the sprint is the casual, getting used to it. I'm going to get the feelers out, and then Sunday I'm just going to go for it. 25 points matter more than 12. Done.
Yep. Because if he can get, if he can do, to be honest, if he can do what Bagnaia does, which is just pull a gap and pull a second gap and then just chill, which is Bagnaia was so good at doing, so was Martin.
Yeah.
Then I cannot see a world where he won't do that. So main, Mark will win. Can't see how Bagnaia is going to be anything lower than second. That Ducati is so fast. Over a race distance, there is just, I cannot see anyone who's going to, I don't know, I can't see anyone that's going to do that.
It does feel like there might be an element of a surprise where someone just goes for it. Frankie Morbidelli's looked excellent recently. Fabio Di Gianantonio, if he's fully fit, he might send it. And it doesn't seem that we have the Ducati difference like last season, where we had the GP24 that was, let's say, 0.5 better, or maybe 1 better than the GP23. And then this year they seem a little bit more even, especially with Ducati sticking with the GP24 engine. So
that's a huge surprise.
I feel like there could be a lot of surprises here, especially when it comes to the Ducatis. But I think if I had to pick, I'm going to say Pecco for the main win. Mark second. I think it'll be a thrilling fight between the two of them. And I think Pedro Acosta will finish third. I really want to include Brad Binder in there. Brad Binder's good in Thailand as well. But there's nothing from testing that says to me that he is going to go out swinging in Thailand. That sounded wrong, but you know what I mean. I would always put Bastianini near the front of the starting seasons because he's always done really well at the starters. But I'm not feeling it from either of the KTMs.
The one thing which we all know that Bastianini is good for is tyre life. I would be surprised if he wasn't top 5. Not going to be top 3, but I would be surprised if he wasn't top 5 in the race, in the main race. Sprint, I don't think he's got. It's the KTM hasn't got the pace. Bastianini doesn't have the pace in the sprint.
Yeah, it's not his game.
I would say if Enea pulled his finger out and actually sorted himself out for qualifying, he might do better.
True.
Because
I think he will for certain tracks, like going to COTA, maybe Argentina. I think he'll be right up there. But for Thailand, it's just past history is not great.
Up. I don't get why he just doesn't show up for quali, and then halfway through the race, he decides that he wants to be a world championship pace. You're like, what are you doing? Like, do that earlier. Like, what? It's just like
do it 10 laps ago.
Yeah, how has this happened? Like, top 5, I think. The other thing we haven't actually considered, rain. What if is it the monsoon season, or is that over now?
I'm not sure, actually. I think that's...
I don't know what... Oh, wait, maybe that's lazy.
Geography has never been a strong point of mine. I still get tracks wrong and such like that as well. But it's a great point, which I was thinking about, actually.
Because if
We've had some rain in Thailand.
Yeah, because if it rains, Miguel will be faster. And Miguel could be there.
If it rains, I'd put Bagnaia 100%. Like last season.
You reckon?
100%. Bagnaia is incredible in the wet. He would dominate.
He is, for sure. I don't know. Do you reckon he would be that? Do you reckon he would be that good?
Yeah, it'd be like last season. I think he would just disappear and he'd just churn it out.
I don't know. Mark showed him up a couple of times in the wet. Mate,
especially last year with Mazzano.
Those changing conditions.
Changing conditions, no one better than Marc Marquez.
What do you reckon? So changing conditions, Mark. But if it's just a full wet race, you reckon?
Full wet race, yeah, exactly.
Right, fair. No, fair. Yeah, I don't think we could go back and forth on literally everyone on the grid being weird,
which is great because that means we've got so much talent this year. So it's rub your hands together because towards last season, I felt the same way. It was very much question marks until halfway when you just realised it would either be Pecco, Martin, Mark or Enea, and then maybe Acosta a few times. I think because it's the start of the season, energy is high. I'm just keen to see racing, so I'm putting everyone's name in there, to be honest. So I'm keen to see how accurate we will be.
There's lots of people that could show up in those first few rounds. Actually, I mean, Argentina, round 2, first time it's been on the calendar since 23. I don't know Argentina that well as a track. I don't know who historically has done well there. So I suppose...
Marquez.
Well, I mean, that's probably a general rule for everything, I think, at this point.
Mark's done well there. Bezeki won the last one, though.
So Bez won the last one. Bez or Aleix. So okay.
Yeah,
so,
Bez and then Aleix it was. Sorry, apologies.
And anyone that you reckon is going to show up there?
Bez.
All right, okay.
He loves Argentina. He's really good there. So I would say definitely do well there. I think it's very much going to be... Argentina, it's got some big straights. Very horsepower-friendly track in certain areas, but there's a lot of twisty sections there. So I'm thinking maybe KTM. Brad Binder did well there as well. I'm thinking, considering possibly, the Aprilia definitely with Marco Bezzecchi, 100%. But I'm also thinking about maybe some Yamaha surprises in there. Especially, again, Argentina in the past has had some terrible race conditions there. Marco Bezzecchi dominated in the wet that year, 2023. Or 22. Yeah, 22, sorry, on the Mooney VR46 Ducati. So I'm curious to see if it rains there, we could see another situation where we get someone like Marco Bezzecchi just sending it, and maybe someone like Pecco, who's good in those wet conditions. But I'm really thinking for Argentina, if it's dry, same as COTA, I want to see a Yamaha up there. I want to see a Yamaha up there somewhere. Those twisty, fast sections is where they should excel. And that's where the Ducati will struggle in those tighter corners of trying to turn the Desmond Sedici in those corners. So I'm leaning towards those. I'm not ready to put a full prediction for those full races yet. What do you reckon? Do you reckon you could do a full prediction, or are you just thinking a couple of shout-outs, let's say?
Yeah, I think shout-outs is probably... I can't comfortably say that, I know this person, because I've no idea, right?
Because everything could completely change as well after this round. We could be way off.
Yeah, we could. Ogura might win. He won't.
That would be incredible. Honestly, if we seen one of the rookies win out, that would just be incredible.
The other one actually as well is we'll do the first 3. COTA. I think we can comfortably... Well, there's two people that I think are going to be very much up there. You could probably guess who they're going to be.
No, definitely not.
No, it's going to be... Well, I mean, Maverick is going to show up for his one race of the year.
You think it's going to be COTA this year? He might do a different year. He might do a different bike. He might do a different track, sorry.
It's COTA.
He might fancy it.
Yeah, COTA just works for him. Yeah, but that'll be it. COTA, and then he'll just go, yep, I'm cool. And then he'll just settle back into best of the rest. Yeah, so Maverick will turn up, and everyone will go nuts and think that he's a championship contender. And obviously Mark, I think. Mark is going to be... There's no chance that he's not going to be.
King of COTA returns. COTA's been a bizarre one. It is. It's a really bizarre one.
COTA is a weird one. I will say that I will die on this hill. I don't like COTA as a track. I hate COTA as a track. But it produces some incredible racing, and it produces some of these, really just...
Only recently, though. For the past 10 years, before then, from 2014 onwards, COTA was just a Marquez show.
Yeah.
And unless you're a Marquez fan, great. But if you're not, if you're not a Marquez fan, or if you're a neutral like myself who just wants to watch good racing, COTA was one of the ones on the calendar I would circle up as being boring. Only past couple of years it's been interesting. I think the most interesting one, or at least one of the most interesting ones, was I quite enjoyed 2019's. Now, unfortunately, Marquez crashed in that one, which completely ruined his 100% record for the season. And that was a fight between Alex Rins on the Suzuki and Rossi on the Yamaha. That was a great fight, which Alex Rins came out on top. And he did the iconic celebration with a leg hanging off the wheel. It was awesome.